the holiest gamer you ever met. So angry he's now drowning in sweat. He'd rather have an atheist try to fight him and then pelt him with shoes. He'd rather eat a piece of corn and then choke while trying to drink some grape juice. He's the holiest gamer you never heard. He's really against using bad words. He's the crackerist. Wait, that's not even a word. He's the Christian video game nerd.
It's time to go back to the past. Specifically to the 1980s, because today we're talking about Vanguard on Atari. Well, the first problem with this game is that I don't know how to play it. That's a great sign when you can't even play the game. And by you, I mean me, who obviously has never played a video game before in my life. Begins with a multicolored spaceship as it flies through other multicolored locations. As you fly through these areas, you also shoot at various other ships. The ship you play as flies through various tunnels and levels, all until you've beaten each location. Locations including the Mountain Zone, the Rainbow Zone, the Styx Zone, the Stripe Zone, the Bleak Zone, and the City of Mystery. And what is the purpose of all this? Well, believe it or not, the game actually does give you a reason. The plot is that you're sent after this Eldritch abomination which is trying to destroy all life in the galaxy. And this evil creature is a giant, marshmallow-looking man with a blank emoticon face. As you would guess, he is what you fight at the end of the game. Surprisingly, this game was considered groundbreaking back in the day. It was praised when it was brought over from those things we used to call arcades to home video consoles. It was even brought over to Atari's follow-up console, the infinitely better Atari 5200. With all that said, did this game really warrant a sequel? Yeah, believe it or not, there's actually a few sequels to Vanguard. Let's just get started with the second game in the series, Donkey Kong Country. The game was made for the Super Famicom after Atari dropped out of the 2000 election as an independent and couldn't register as a libertarian vote. For whatever reason, they dropped the whole science fiction theme from the first game, and instead the game follows King Kong and his unemployed son, Viet Cong, who spends most of his time on Read It, as the two must go out into the jungles and collect these stolen bananas that were taken from them by these toothless alligators. I just don't get it. They didn't bring anything from the previous Vanguard game into this one. Where are the platforms where King Kong throws barrels at Marlin, the French chef, or his brother Luagai, the Mexican carpenter, or the ending level where Kong falls off the Chrysler building, or anything that was from Diddy Kong Racing? What were they thinking? Let me just say, this game can certainly be a hard son of a gun. It's like the only way to beat this game is to cheat. So, I'm just going to input a bunch of cheat codes, and then do a montage set to dramatic music of me pretending to play the game while making angry faces, and then go to the last level and call that a review. Okay, we made it to the last level now. Really, all you do is jump on the boss's head and then he's dead. Yeah. Now on to the next entry in the series, Happy Gilmore. The plot is about a former basketball player who's now turned his attention to baseball. But, obviously he's been having a hard time with it, so he turns to Dr. Ben Carson to be his mentor, add a jealous rival, a love interest, and saving his grandmother's house from being converted into a rec center. This is the plots of the game. The main character, Happy, would later go on to become a pop culture icon, even being featured in various fast food chain commercials for places like Subway.
Price is wrong, bitch.
Mr. Gilmore, what are you doing here? Can't you see I'm in the middle of a game review? Please leave.
Hey, Mom, this here, but...
Why is it this kind of thing always happens in my videos? Next up in the series is Shrek for the Xbox. It's pretty bad. Next up is Hannah Montana, a game that doesn't even require a console, because it just hooks right into your television, and you just play along with the music that's on screen, not just by hitting the buttons and the strum bar, but instead by whacking it like it's a slap bass. Clearly, this was when everyone was jumping on the trend of ripping off the guitar praise. This was definitely a low point for the Vanguard series, trying to rip off an actually good game, because it has Christian music in it. And if anyone says that this was a rip-off of a bigger franchise like Guitar Hero, Academia, or whatever it's called, I will not believe you. Next up is Ben 10 Power Trip. Okay, well at least they're returning back to the science fiction roots of the original game. Well, too bad I don't like science fiction because it's often enjoyed by atheists who reject religion, so pass. Don't listen to her. After that came their attempt at jumping on the martial arts genre with Naruto Ultimate Ninja, and I'm running out of things to say. Next up was iCarly on the Nintendo YY. I have no comment. Okay, last game. Monsters Inc. on the PlayStation 2. You play as Jaime Tude in a series of 8 levels, in a chocolate factory, the city streets, your apartment, the North Pole, and many more. Mostly you try to get from point A to point B while collecting special items, while you jump around platforms, climbing ladders, pushing boxes, and flipping switches. Okay, well I think that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, that's the entire review of that game. Okay, let's see now. How could I end this video? I could destroy the game somehow, or I could have a character appear from one of the games and try to fight me. No, I can't do that. That'll be an obvious ripoff. And I can't do that. Guys, I'm going to reason with you. I don't really like reviewing video games. Mainly because I do not know that much about them. And more importantly, I don't like them. Because I was raised to believe that video games are as morally reprehensible as pornography by people like Matt Walsh. I would rather spend my time making videos talking about how people are so easily offended these days, and then get easily offended at that music video made by the Old Town Road guy. And another thing has come to my attention. I'm not really good at ending videos.